Hi everyone. Hello. I'm just gonna wait for a couple of people to pop over. Hi everyone. Is anybody here to join me? Who's around on Wednesday afternoon? Hello, I can see people popping over. Hi everyone. Lovely to have you here. Say hello in the comments who's here. Let me know who's here. Let me know who's joining. Bit of a change of plan, as you can see. Hi, Julia. Lovely to have you here. Hello. Lovely to have you here. So, bit of a change of plans. We did schedule a live Q&A chat with the lovely Hannah from HanJan Crochet for today. But unfortunately, I had a message from Hannah this morning. We spoke briefly over messages, and she had a very rough night, bless her. I think the school and nursery viruses and bugs got to her, bless her. So she's currently hopefully having lots of rest and lots of crochet and lots of nice hot cups of tea. So we wish Hannah speedy recovery. And I was gonna go live on Friday, so this Friday, to do to catch up with people for who are working on a crochet along on the Shipka Cardigan crochet along. So I was gonna do a bit of a catch up on Friday. But I spoke with Hannah this morning and we said that we might do a little swap. So if Hannah's better by Friday, we will be going live on Friday together. And I thought I can do a little bit of a update, the Cal update, and just a few announcements. I can do that today instead of Friday. So I do apologize if you can hear snoring. It's my dog. She's just laid down on the floor right next to me, having a good old sleep. Having a good old sleep and a snore. Hello. Hi, welcome. So that's her contribution to the live, a bit of snoring, of course. So yeah, we can catch up with the crochet along and a few announcements today. And then hopefully, like I said, by Friday, hopefully Hannah will be better and we will be able to do our monthly crochet chat and Q&A. So here we go, people popping over. Yay, so pleased to have found you. Waving from Wales, UK, waving back to Wales. Hello, how you doing? And of course, yes, sending get well wishes to Hannah. Yes, hopefully Hannah will be back on her feet very, very soon. And hello back to Nova Scotia. Hi, welcome everyone. Lovely to have you all here. So, just a few housekeeping things. So, we are currently in the middle of the Shipka Cardigan crochet along. So, this is the Shipka cardigan that I am running a crochet along for at the moment. So on Monday, I released part 2 of the pattern. So we started with the part 1, which was the bottom hem and the main body that we worked all the way up to the armholes. So if I do this. So we did the bottom hem and then we worked all the way up to this point here. So it was a big first part, but it was once you got the stitch pattern worked out, it was kind of straightforward because there was no shaping, there was no kind of nothing. It was just working back and forth in the stitch pattern. But this week we are getting to this bit here. So this is when we split the whole main panel into 3 separate parts. So we are going to work up the front panel, then the back panel at the back separately, and then of course the other front panel. I'm getting mixed up here. And then the other front panel here. The reason you obviously have to do it in 3 separate parts is because we need to create the openings for the armholes, because this is where the sleeve is then going to be worked on in week 3. Yes, I think week 3. There we go. So that's what we're working on this week. I'm loving people posting in the Facebook community group with their progress shots and asking some questions and stuff. So that's what we're working on this week. And after finishing the part of the pattern for this week, it's going to be great because it's going to start looking like a cardigan. So up until now, we were kind of working in big, long rows, back and forth, back and forth. And it kind of probably felt like working on a bit of a blanket, maybe. But it was nice and easy. It was just to get you used to the stitch pattern. And this week we're working on splitting the panels. And the other thing is, because the front panels are kind of shaped, they're like a V shape. Let me hold this up. Should have probably put it on a bit of a hanger, shouldn't I? So the front panel, if you can see it, it's got shaping up here. So it's got a V shape round the neck. So we obviously need to decrease round here to create the V shape. So this week is a bit more interesting. There is a little bit more to get through. But as I said, once you finish this week's part, you will be able to then, once you stitch it up across the shoulder seam, so once you attach the front panels to the back panel, you'll be able to put it on. Yes. So this week it's going to start looking like a cardigan. It's not going to be just huge rows. And after you complete the pattern, like I said, you sew it up across the shoulder seams and you can put it on. Just first kind of try, first feel of how the cardigan's going to feel, how it's going to mold to your body. Don't worry about if the front panels kind of don't meet dead on at the front, because obviously you have to account for your bust. Okay, so if you have got gap at the front that the two panels don't quite meet kind of dead on in the middle, is because obviously you are the circumference, when you measure your chest circumference, it's not split 50-50 back and front. Okay, it's kind of like a 60-40. So the 40% of the measurement is your back and about 60% of the measurement is your front, for two very obvious reasons, ladies. Okay, so the chest circumference, if your front panels don't meet dead on in the middle, if you got a little gap in between the two front panels, don't panic. That's just to accommodate your bust. And when we then come to finish the neckline, so we'll be working the neckline, okay? So these rows here, this part, the neckline, okay? So that will be week 4. So this neckline, because you're obviously going to work this width on both front panels, it will bring them closer together. Okay, so if you kind of finish this week's part, you sew up your shoulder seams, you put it on, and you think, oh my gosh, it's too small, it doesn't meet in the middle. Don't panic. It's all good. It's all well. It's all working out, because we're going to finish it off with the neckline on week 4. Okay, so that's the Shipka cardigan. Just a quick recap. There are 2 options to join. The first option is the free option that you can sign up through the let me pop this QR code. So if you still haven't joined, where have you been? Okay, but you can join with a free ticket via this QR code, or you can also join in with the VIP ticket, which means that you'll get instant and lifetime access to all parts of the pattern, loads of bonuses, loads of video tutorials, loads of extra help to get you through the pattern. But the free ticket is worth getting anyway, because yes, the pattern, the Shipka cardigan pattern, is hosted on my blog. So if you wanted to, you can just go straight to bluestarcrochet.com and find the Shipka cardigan pattern. That's perfectly fine. That's no problem at all. But if you go via this link and sign up for the free ticket, you will be able to download your how to choose the right size of the pattern guide that works for this cardigan or for any future garments that you might want to make. It's just a quick guide to help you take a few different factors in to consideration when choosing a size of a garment pattern to crochet, because we said previously that the sizes are not always dead on the same as the store-bought clothes. So we just go through a different steps in the process to kind of make you think, how can I choose, or what do I need to think about when choosing the right size of a crochet pattern to make? Because you don't want to, just because you wear size medium clothes, or size 10, size 12, or medium large, or whatever your size is on most of your shop bought clothes, that doesn't necessarily mean that size medium or size 10 of a crochet pattern is going to fit you, okay? Because crochet fabric behaves differently. Crochet stitches have got different repeats that we need to take into account when designing crochet patterns. So without going into too much details and boring you with all this, just download the guide, have a read through it, and have a look at the different few bits that you should be thinking about when choosing the right size of a crochet pattern to make. It could probably, if you're a knitter, I'm assuming that could probably work for knitting as well, because obviously you are creating the piece yourself. So there are factors to think about when choosing a knitting pattern as well, I suppose. I mean, crochet and knitting are hand in hand, aren't they, when it comes to making your own clothes? So yeah, that's the QR code you can scan. Go ahead, sign up. And the second, even bigger reason, why am I dribbling on about free guide? The second reason is that if you sign up via this QR code, even for the free ticket or the VIP ticket, it doesn't matter, you will have the chance to enter a giveaway. So we had the first week's giveaway when we gave away plenty of yarn to our first winner to make the cardigan, and Robin also got access to the VIP course and the 6 crochet shawls and patterns, shawls and wraps pattern bundle. So that was first week's winner, and I did exactly the same thing last week. So last Friday, I paused the giveaway entries and picked another winner. I can't remember the lady's name, but the first week of the live crochet along, we had another winner, and that winner was granted access to the VIP course again and the 6 crochet shawls and wraps pattern bundle. So and that is going to be the case every single week of the giveaway. So I have decided to give away 1 VIP ticket and the 6 crochet shawls and wraps pattern bundle every week of the live crochet along. So this week, I'm going to do exactly the same. So on Friday, I'm going to pause the giveaway, pick another winner, and grant you an access to the VIP crochet along and to the 6 crochet shawls and patterns, shawls and wraps pattern bundle. If I have to say that one more time and get it wrong. So don't forget, if to sign up and enter the giveaway, do it as the first thing so you don't forget. And the other great thing is that if you have entered the giveaway already on week 1 or week 2, if you didn't manage to win, it doesn't matter, because all the entries roll over to the following week. And I'm driving my camera crazy because it's trying to pick up all my hands moving. So don't forget to enter the giveaway. If you have entered already, your entry will be rolled over to the following week. Okay, so go ahead and do that. Let me pop back into the chat section because we did have some messages. Snoring dogs are better than playful kittens. Yes, Julia, how's your kitten? I think your kitten made an appearance in one of my lives when it was typing across your keyboard. That was really funny. So there we go. And oh, we've got some mischief happening. My cats have just destroyed my newly delivered knitting cable. Oh dear. Are they in a naughty corner? Are your kitties in a naughty corner? Because yeah, if I had a kitty, I think that's where the kitty would have to go for just 5 minutes until you kind of process what has just happened. So yeah, naughty kitties. And here we go, Julia's kitty chat. I'm sorry to hear that. Thankfully, mine have not done that much distractions, only knotted my yarn, which I was able to untangle. Do you know what? Tangled yarn, I'll have to tell you, my husband, let me have a sip. Whoosh, that's hot. Do you know what? These thermal cups for your coffee and stuff, they are amazing. But when you first put the coffee in, it stays boiling forever. The amount of times I burn my tongue. But anyway, tangled yarn. My husband loves untangling yarn. Well, I don't know whether he loves it, but I think just for peace in a house, he does it for me. So when I get into a tangle, I do try myself first. I kind of like, you know, he says to me like the trick with untangling yarn is keep the tangle loose. So don't kind of pull on any strands and because that will tighten up the tangle. He said you just need to keep loosening it up. That's his trick to untangling yarn. So yeah, but I don't know. I do try for a little bit, but yeah, not for very long. And we've got a hey from Facebook user. Hey back to you, Facebook user. I'm so sorry Facebook doesn't show me who you are. It's like a whole privacy setting thingy majiggy. I have no idea why. Facebook, have a word with yourself. Let me see who's talking to me. But hey back to Facebook user. Um, and here we go. Oh, it was a long delivery of those knitting cables. Oh my gosh. And here we go. Julia, another comment. I'm going to start my Shipka cardigan after the new year, finishing up all the holiday gifts. That's perfectly fine, Julia. Amazing. Thank you for that comment because I was going to say, I am running the live crochet along now before the holiday season because it just kind of I get it. It's a busy season. I get it. It's so busy with gift making and wrapping and cleaning the house and decorating and baking and cooking and on top of all the everyday life. I get it. It's busy, but if you perhaps are done with holiday gifts and you think, okay, now I want to do something for myself. Now, when and after the busy day, if you want to just sit down and take half an hour to yourself to work on a project just for yourself, that is why I put the Shipka cardigan crochet along on at this time. Because if you want to do that, then by kind of the 11th, am I thinking right? No, I'm not thinking right. 8th of December, dates. 8th of December, when the live free crochet along is officially kind of over, you will have yourself a beautiful cardigan to wear for the holiday season. And because it's so versatile, it will obviously be good throughout the year, any season of the year. But if you don't have the time now, if you think, okay, like, I'm not quite going to fit all this in, that's perfectly fine. It's not, like I said in one of my lives before, I'm not going to come like kicking down your door and telling you, oh my gosh, you haven't finished. What is happening? It's perfectly fine. You can finish, you can start, you can finish anytime you want, anytime you have time to do so. That's perfectly fine. Even if you pop over to the Facebook community group, or if you message me on any of the social media, or if you send me an email like 10 years from now on and say, I have finished my Shipka cardigan, you will make me incredibly happy. Okay, so it's not a race. It's not not a race, not a problem if you want to take part at your own pace. The VIP option will make that slightly easier because you will have access to the pattern and all the video tutorials forever and ever. While as long as Blue Star Crochet is around, as long as Thrive Card platform and everything is still working and is still out there, and till the end of time. Okay, so you'll have access to it forever to go back to whenever you need to. The free pattern will also be available on my blog. It doesn't have as many video tutorials as the VIP option because that's the perk of the VIP option, but it will be available on my blog. It will, after the live crochet along is finished, it will be kind of switched over to the blog subscribers only. So if you if you pop over to my blog, you will see the grow widget where the pattern is logged behind. So I left it open for the duration of the crochet along because I get it. It's just another step to another obstacle to go through to view the pattern. So I left it open for now. But just know that after the free crochet along, the live event is over. It will be logged behind the grow widget. It's free. It's free to unlock it. You know, I'm not going to ask you for any money or anything. All I'm going to ask for is that you pop your email address into the grow widget to unlock it, to create your very own free grow account in order to view the pattern. Some people ask me, why do you do this? What is the point of it? Well, the point of it is that it kind of protects the pattern a little, okay? Yes, people can still log in free and view the whole pattern, but the point is, if there ever was anything to happen to the pattern, I know exactly who looked at it. I've got email addresses and email addresses of people that have looked at the pattern. So that kind of narrows down, you know, in search of where the copyright breach has come from. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna say on the topic. Please don't shoot the messenger. What is the link for the crochet Cal again? So it's the QR code, but let me pop the link in there now. Let me see if I can talk and type. This will be interesting. So the link for the crochet along, oh, I need to authenticate this. Do apologize. It's just the extra layer of security when I have to put the security code in to log in. So the crochet along is run free on the blog or VIP. You can purchase the VIP through this link that I'm slowly getting to. Get URL, copy. And I'm going to pop it in a chat here. So it's going to come through hopefully on Facebook and on YouTube, wherever you are watching from. So that's the link to go ahead and check the crochet along out. That's over on Thrivecard, so you can sign up for the free or for the VIP ticket via that link. If you just want to if you want to check the pattern out first, just kind of look at it before you commit to anything, before you sign up for anything, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to grab the link, copy link, and oh no, that's not what I wanted. Sorry, why is not letting me copy link address? Is that what I need to copy? Technology. Yes, there we go. So you've got the link for the sign up on Thrivecast. So you can sign up for the crochet along. If you wanted to pop over to the blog first, it's bluestarcrochet.com. You can go ahead and check the pattern out. If you want to have a look at it before you commit to anything, that's completely fine. So that's where we need to go. Okay, I'm going to give this beautiful card a go. Yes, please. Yes, share your progress. Join the Facebook community group. If you pop over to my Facebook, bluestarcrochet.com, Blue Star Crochet on Facebook, you will see the Blue Star Crochet and Friends community group. Go ahead and join the group if you haven't already, and share your progress. Let me know how you're getting on. If there are any questions, you can pop over to the community group, post your questions. I'm kind of, because it's the crochet along, I'm kind of obsessed with my group at the moment. I'm in that group all the time. I'm like checking every time something pops up or somebody likes a post or someone comments. I'm like, oh, what's this? Let me go and check that out. So I'm kind of living in a community group. So if you wanted to ask a question, if you get stuck on anything, please pop over to the community group. There have been a few questions that I'm just going to quickly run over in shortly. Just a few questions that popped up. So we're going to go through it. Oh no, kitties are definitely in a naughty corner. Poor kitties, oh dear. But there we go. Hopefully they'll stay away from your crochet knitting supplies. And my husband's completely right. Yes, do you know what? It doesn't happen very often, but I have to give it to him. He's right. He's right. If you keep the tangle loose, I'm assuming that's what you're talking about, right? Nothing else, just the tangled yarn. If you keep the tangle loose, it's easier to kind of pick it apart and go ahead and check that out and get it all um, untangled. Love the trick for cat the tangles. Yes, Julia, just keep it loose, keep it going. And yes, Julia, you've been on the holiday gift making marathon, haven't you? So she did finish all her whips, got 20 finished, 20 items so far this year. That's absolutely amazing. Speedy crochet, Julia. That's absolutely brilliant. So we've got the links, we've got the QR codes for everything. So the couple of things, as I was talking about the community group, there have been a few posts where people ask a few questions. So I was just going to quickly go over these questions in case it helps anyone. We had one post about the yarn splitting. So the original yarn that I have used for the Shipka hat and the Shipka cardigan. This is a bonus pattern for the VIP ticket, okay? So if you look at it closely, is it going to show it you? If you look at the yarn closely, okay, this is the Mighty Stitch from We Crochet, okay? So the yarn is not as tightly spun as some other yarns, okay? I'll be totally honest, but it is a beautiful yarn to work with. So because it's not the different plies or the different strands of the yarn, they're not as tightly twisted together as perhaps some other acrylic yarns or other different yarns, okay? So it could be more prone to splitting on you a little bit, okay? It's not I loved working with it, and you know me, if I don't like a yarn, I moan about it to high heavens. I don't shut up about it if I don't like a yarn. But I really enjoyed working with the Mighty Stitch. I didn't have issues with yarn splitting, I do have to say, but it depends how you crochet, how you perhaps hold your yarn, and so on. There is loads of different factors that that can affect the way the yarn works for you. So if you do have problems with a yarn that is splitting on you a little bit, all you have to do is try a different hook. Now, I'm not talking about different weight or different size or nothing like that, because you have got certain crochet hooks. Now, I wish I come prepared and got a few different hooks, but if I just show you, I mean, these are totally huge differences in size, but hopefully you'll be able to see the difference. I mean, I should have prepared a few hooks, shouldn't I? But anyway, if your yarn is splitting on you, the problem could be the hook head, okay? The head of the hook. If the head of the hook, like this one, perhaps, if it's a bit pointy, it could be the problem that it's kind of, instead of going through the stitch, because the hook head is pointed, it kind of goes through the strand of the yarn, okay? So if you are working with the hook head that is pointed, that's got a kind of like a sharp-ish point at the top, try a hook head that is more rounded at the top. Like this is tiny bit more rounded. Like I said, I should have prepared two different hooks. But as you can see, the hook head, it hasn't got like a really sharp point. If I show you this way, I don't know whether you can see this really, but like the hook head it hasn't got a point, it's got like a little flat piece, so it's more rounded. It's not as sharp, as pointy as the other one, okay? So if you're, this is not just for Mighty Stitch, this is advice for everyone. If your yarn is splitting on you, then look at the type of hook you're using, whether your head is pointed or whether your head is more rounded with like a bit flat bit at the top. And whichever hook you're using, try the opposite, okay? So if your hook head is pointed, try a flat one. If your hook head is flat one, try a pointed one, okay? Because my thinking behind this, is that if the hook head is pointed, it's kind of, rather than going smoothly into the stitch, because you've got like a real sharp point, it's going to kind of go through the strand of the yarn easier than the this way, than a rounded hook head, okay? And on the other hand, if your hook head is more rounded, perhaps the way you crochet, you need more of a point on your hook to be able to go through the stitch easier, so your hook kind of doesn't slip from the stitch, the V at the stitch, and then ends up going through the strands of the yarn. Okay, so you need something a bit more rounded, that it doesn't slip and poke through the strands of the yarn. Okay, am I making any sense at all? I don't even know whether I explained it properly. I don't, there is method to my madness, I have to say, but yeah, if you have got problems with yarn splitting, try a different hook head. Not a size, but just a head, just the type of the head. See how you can go and try that, okay? Then we had gauge, okay? I had a question about gauge, and as I said before, don't tell anyone, but when it comes to gauge, you've got stitch gauge and row or round gauge, okay? One gauge, excuse me, one gauge is always more important than the other. But don't quote, don't say I said this. That's our secret, okay? One gauge is always slightly more important than the other. You always have to do your gauge swatch. I'm trying to remedy this now. You always have to do your gauge swatch, but one gauge is more important than the other, okay? So particularly when it comes to Shipka cardigan, okay, because we are working from the bottom this way, okay, we're working up, it's the stitch gauge that is more important than the row or the round gauge, okay? Because the stitch gauge is going to affect the chest circumference, okay? If you're working in this style, when you're working bottom up towards the shoulders, the stitch gauge is going to be slightly, teeny bit more important than the row gauge, because in the first part, I even put a note on the pattern. If you wanted to adjust the total length of your cardigan, you can do so by taking away the row repeats or adding on more if you want it longer, okay? As long as your stitch gauge was dead on, spot on, brilliant, matched, you will be fine with the chest circumference, because once you work your bottom hem and once you set the amount of the stitch pattern repeats, after that, there is not much you can do to adjust the width, okay? That is why the stitch gauge is more important, because once you set the amount of repeats, set the rows of the bottom hem, after that, apart from working wider neckline, there is not an awful lot you can do to adjust the chest circumference. When it comes to the length, you can just simply work more or less rows. Okay, so the stitch gauge is more important than the row gauge, particularly for this Shipka cardigan. Okay, you do have cardigans that are worked sideways, so you kind of work in this fashion. Okay, in that case, it would be the row gauge more important, because that would affect your chest circumference. But again, you could add on a few rows to widen it, but then it would kind of it's like a domino effect. Once you adjust one thing on the pattern, then you have to be mindful that it might actually go on and affect the rest of the pattern, like the sleeve counts and, you know, the neckline positioning and whole lot of other stuff. So that was the gauge question, and I just wanted to say, if you match your gauge, your stitch gauge perfectly, stick with that hook. If you are slightly off on the row, the amount of rows, it's not the end of the world. You can adjust the length, or you can then go ahead and learn about being a lifter, being a yanker, or being a rider when it comes to row gauge. Okay, it's all about how you pull up the stitch for your row. So if you are rider, that's this way. Your hook is just steady. That's your stitch. If you are lifter, it means you lift the hook that way, and then you kind of increase the height of your stitch. Or if you're a yanker, it means that you go that way and you yank on the yarn a bit tighter, so your stitch ends up smaller. Okay, all very technical, By the way, I did not make up these names. I don't know who did, but I would like to thank this person for these words. Because lifter, yanker, and rider. Is it just my mind? Move on. Let's move on. Anyway, so that was the gauge question. That was the main gauge question. I'm just popping back into the chat because people are chatting. Sorry, I'm missing all this. There we go, Julia. That's right. Julia's agreeing with me. Pointier crochet hooks do split the yarn easier than rounder ones. Absolutely. Yes, I do agree. So if you've got problems with splitty yarn, or if you split in a yarn yourself by kind of stabbing it with the pointy hook, try a rounded head one. And here we go. Facebook user, I'm so sorry, I don't know your name. Agree with the splittiness and defo. Main reason is the hook head or the way you pull your hook through the loops. It's a really beautiful, soft and silky yarn. Love it. Yes, Mighty Stitch is beautiful, soft and silky. I do agree. It's got lovely sheen to it. Lovely, lovely drape. I keep wiggling my hat, but sometimes when I make crochet hats, you can kind of put them, you can kind of like, oh, I wish I had the other hats I made. Sometimes when I make crochet hats, what I can do is actually put them down and they like don't go anywhere. Like if you put them on the flat, they kind of stand up like this, don't they? Is it just me? Is it just the way I make my hats? But when you look at this Mighty Stitch, if I try to stand the crochet hat up, apart from falling over, it like crumbles and crumples into a little heap because the yarn is so soft and so drapey. Okay, that was very technical experiment, wasn't it? I think so. There we go. And we've got a knitter here, so I have no idea about hooks. Okay. Yes, there are different types of hooks, not just handles and sizes and materials. It all affects the way you work with the hook. And like I keep saying, the best way to find a hook that is suitable for you, because some crochet hook companies, they've got really strong marketing campaigns, and you get sold on the idea and you think, oh, this hook is brilliant and it cost me a fortune, so I've got to work with it. But my advice is go ahead, don't invest in a full set right off the mark. Buy, like odd hooks from different materials. So you got wooden, you got plastic, you get resin, you get aluminium, wooden, did I say wooden? Bamboo hooks. Okay, so you've got different materials. I personally absolutely hate wooden hooks. Sorry, wooden hooks. Hate working with them, hate holding them, hate the way they feel. I hate the way they work with the yarn. It doesn't glide. Bamboo hooks are even worse. Okay, that's just my personal opinion. Okay, if someone else loves bamboo hooks or wooden hooks, of course, go for it and go and work with them. That's fine. I personally prefer aluminium hooks because they're light, but they get that kind of smooth glide with the yarn. Then you've got different hook handles, ergonomic handles, plastic handles. You've got those fancy polymer clay handles, which make the hook heavier. So, like I said, there's so many different factors you have to think about when it comes to choosing the hooks that you're going to be really comfortable with, because you don't want your hand hurting. Now, the other thing I was going to say, what I personally, gosh, she's getting louder and louder. Roxy, wakey, wakey. Hi, girl. That was a very grumpy look. One thing I was going to say, when I hold my hook, this is the most important thing to me, is for the handle to go past my palm. I don't know whether you guys agree with me, but I know there is one hook brand, I think they're Clover. They are super short. I think they're about that long, okay? And when I hold that hook, what the handle does, because the handle is so short, the handle actually pokes me in my palm. So I bought one single Clover. It's that like the gold handle with the little brown thumb grip. I don't know what they're called. If anyone knows, let me know. I don't know what they're called. Super popular hooks. That's why I bought one. Super popular hooks. Loads of people absolutely love them. And yes, I can see why they are quality hooks. They got aluminium hook heads and stuff, so they are really great to work with. But what I absolutely hated about those hooks, that's why I never bought another one, never bought another clover. I can't remember what they're called, with the golden handle and the gold hook. I'll have to look it up because that's going to bug me now. So when I was holding that hook, the handle was so short that it was kind of sitting here in my palm. And I just, after 5 minutes of crocheting, I had like a massive dent in my palm, and I just couldn't stand working with them. And so many people love them. So that's why I'm saying, if you're a knitter, just try a few different hooks before you invest in a set. Okay, these are dot hooks from We Crochet. I do have the whole set because, as you can see, the handle is nice and long, it doesn't poke. The hook head is metal aluminium, and they're super lightweight, and the handle is really comfortable. They have got a little hole on the back where you can pop your stitch marker in if you're not using it, so you don't lose it, because let's be honest, how many stitch markers have we lost? Loads. And the other thing is, they have got this, let me, I don't know whether you'll be able to see this. There we go. They have got the sizes, but they're not printed on or written on. They're actually kind of engraved in, so they will never rub off. Because the amount of hooks I've had with all like a fancy printed on size, and obviously with the use, it just rubbed off. So now I'm like, well, what size are you? I do talk to my hooks sometimes. Never mind. They never answer, but I do talk to them. There we go. I've got a few metal hooks so far. Yeah, brilliant. Give them a try. Whatever works for you. You know, I started with like a cheap aluminium set from Amazon, and I absolutely love them. I mean, I think they cost me like the whole set of hooks probably cost me less than a fancy coffee, but I loved working with them until I discovered that the handle was just a little bit too thin for me. But you could also make your own handles. You got those foam curlers for your hair. You can pop one on, you can pop the hook in. You can buy your own. Actually, it's not polymer clay, it's foam clay. I don't know whether you guys seen that in like hobby shops. They've got it here in UK in hobby shop. It's foam clay, air dry foam clay, and it just once it dries, it just feels like foam, so it's really good for your hands. I did make one. It was ugly as anything, but I did make one, and it was super comfortable because it just gave you something bigger to hold on to. Okay. There we go. Hi, Heather. Lovely to have you here. The dog hooks are the best. I do agree. They are super comfortable, and they are the hooks I'm currently using for all the projects, apart from this beast. This is a 15 millimeter, 15 millimeter hook. So this is a resin. Because once you get to these huge sizes, the I feel like the choice reduces. Like you either get them plastic or wooden, neither of which are my favorite, but you know, needs a must. So this is a 15 millimeter resin hook, but the dot hooks are brilliant. I do agree. Julia's got so many different hooks of variety of materials. Precisely, you need to try what works the best. And here we go. We've got great info, everyone. Thank you. You're very welcome. Very welcome. No problem at all. So yeah, that was a very thorough hook debate. I love it. I love it, guys. So that was my what was I talking about? Yarn splitting. We talked about the gauge, and I think that was all of it. Oh, one thing I was gonna say. Bit of a housekeeping for the Shipka cardi. When we said the stitch gauge is more important than the row gauge, one thing I forgot, I need to say this. You can adjust the length of the cardigan easy by working more or less rows, okay? The only place that your row gauge will matter is when you create the armholes. Okay, so when we get to, let me hug my cardigan again. When you get to here, okay, to this point, when you split the whole main panel to the front, back, and the other front panel, okay, this is the only place where your row gauge will matter, because the amount of rows will affect your armhole depth, okay? There is an easy work around this. You basically, once you split the front, back, and front panel, so when you work your, I think it's row 45, don't quote me, I think it's row 45. So once you work your row 45, before you start following the decrease for the V neckline on this side, okay? So you work row 45 to split the panel. So you work it and then stop, because this is where you're going to turn and work back this way. To account for your row gauge not meeting the set gauge of the pattern, you can actually work couple of extra rows, or the stitch pattern repeats, just in a straight line. So don't start the decrease here. Just work up, say if you're off by a few millimeters, you might want to add 1 or 2 rows here when you first split the main panel. So work row 45, and instead of the decrease of row 46, when you work the last or the first, when you work the first single crochet 2 together, that's a decrease. So you start the decrease on that side. Instead of working the first single crochet 2 together, you can just work standard single crochets all the way across, and then work the next pattern repeat back. Okay, so you already gained 2 rows on your armhole height. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I might make a post in a group just to make it a bit easier. Okay, so basically when you split the panels, before you start decreasing round your V neckline, add a couple of rows. If you need to adjust the armholes, this is if you need to adjust the depth of your armholes because you didn't quite meet the row gauge, it will affect the depth of your armhole. So you could actually, if your row gauge is just slightly shorter than the set gauge of the pattern, you could add a couple of pattern repeats to increase the height of the armhole. Okay, am I making sense? I hope I am. So that's what I wanted to say regards the gauge. That was the important bit. Okay, so who have we got here? Any more? Just check the chat. No, we're all good. I'm all caught up. And oh my gosh, I can't believe I've been 48 minutes. See, now my coffee's probably going to be cold. Oh no, that's perfect. Let me close the lid so it keeps the temperature now. Okay, so that was the Shipka cardigan. You've got the link there. I've popped the link in the comments. This is what I was going to say. If you are on my email list, you have got the details of that announcement that I sent out today, that I have finally woken up and I was ready. I actually put my Etsy shop on a Black Friday sale. Because normally, the years before, normally I'm just like, oh, it's Thursday today. What's happening tomorrow? Oh, it's Black Friday tomorrow. What am I doing for Black Friday? Nothing. So I always kind of last minute, I realize what time of the year it is, and the Black Friday is tomorrow. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to, jump on this. And I always kind of scrambled along the last minute. And then put my shop on sale for like 24 hours, and that was my Black Friday. But this year, guess who is organized? Guess who jumped on the first train of Black Friday sales, not the last one, not the last train of the day, not the last train of the Black Friday sale, the first train, I was on it. So my Etsy shop is on sale, and I'm going to share my screen with you now. Am I sharing? Because the last time I was dribbling on and I wasn't even sharing. Yes, I'm sharing. So Blue Star Crochet on Etsy, not on Ravelry. This is Etsy sale. Here we go. Patterns are 25% off. So if you wanted to go on the shopping spree, go ahead. All patterns 25% off. Some of them are £3.60. That's dirty cheap. £3.15, that's cheap. Okay, so here we go. You have got all crochet patterns on Etsy are currently 25% off. You can go ahead and grab your favorites or grab the ones that you've had in your basket for a while. You can rescue them from the basket, check out, grab those patterns. You know, I'm not going to say they're amazing patterns because they're my patterns. So that'll be like, you know, blowing my own trumpet. But, you know, the prices are amazing. Let's be honest. The prices are good. Prices. Oh, look at his little face. This is my little boy. So yeah, there we go. Hug Me Bear hoodie. He could be so lovely. Look at him. Okay, yeah. Going off subject here. So there we go. Working Girl cardigan. I just want to say Working Girl cardigan has got very similar construction. Well, not very, the same construction as the Shipka cardigan. So you start with the bottom hem, you work up one panel, then you split it to front panels and back panel. And this version of the cardigan, this mustard one, no longer exists. I worn it out. And it was the same case for the black version. This is going to load for me. There it is. So this was the black, this was the original version. And the mustard one was the other version. Neither of those two I have anymore because I wore them out. I wore it so much. There we go. HanJan Crochet pullover. There we go. £4.95. Oh my gosh, how cheap is that? There we go. There is some of my patterns that have previously been published in magazines. There we go. This is a lovely blanket I did for a magazine before. And there we go. There we go. More and more patterns. Yeah, so that's what I want to say. Etsy patterns are 25% off. So go ahead. Do you want me to drop the link in the comments? I can. Let me just take this off, copy and paste. There we go. That's my Etsy shop link. If you want to go ahead and just go and look at different patterns. So this is a Reno cardigan that I did. That I did for We Crochet for the September show, done with the same construction as Shipka. Okay, so you start with the bottom hem, you work up the panel, then split and sew it up across the shoulder seams, pop the sleeves on, finish the neckline, bish bash bosh, you're done. Okay, so that's Reno, that's the same construction. And here is the Working Girl. I don't think I was sharing the tabs again, was I? I was just like talking about stuff and not actually showing you what I'm talking about. What a plonker. Never mind. Here we go. This is the Working Girl cardigan. Again, same construction. You start with the bottom hem, work it up, split the main panel, sew it across the shoulder seams, pop the sleeves on. Rest in peace, Working Girl cardigan. As I said, I no longer have either of these two samples because I worn them out. I simply worn them out. And this is what I was showing you, my little boy posing. I had to bribe him heavily heavily with chocolate just to crack a smile because he was just so grumpy that day. But yeah, so that's my little boy there. And what else am I gonna show you from my Etsy shop? Let me see. So yeah, there's loads of patterns. And another, oh, there we go. This is my Telfa cardigan that I did for We Crochet again. And again, same construction. Hem, work up the main body, split the main panel, sew it across the shoulders, pop your sleeves on, bish bash bosh, off you go, your card is done. Okay? Can you tell that I love this construction of a cardigan? I think it's amazing. Do you know why? Because it cuts out the seams at the side. If you look at the Shipka cardi, that's the side, and there's just no seam. Okay, no seam at all up the sides. The only place you've got the seams is across the shoulders, and as we spoke before, when you pop a seam across the shoulders, it's like a reinforcement for the crochet fabric. So if you pop the seam across your shoulders, because when you wear the cardigan, that's where the fabric kind of gets stretched most, I feel, on your shoulders, because that's where your cardigan hangs on you, kind of on your shoulders. So popping a seam across the shoulders actually works wonders, in my opinion, because it strengthens it and it stops that stretch across your shoulders. So you can see that I love this type of construction. And plus the side seams are not there. And once you work up the main body up to your armholes, that's like, in my opinion, like half the cardigan really done. Okay, like there isn't, after that it's just the three panels up the top, and pop your sleeves on and you're done. Okay, so yeah, that's that one. And what else have we got? What else have we got? This is a spicy sweater. That's another one that is super popular as well. Yeah, that one was quite a while ago, but I do like it. That's a really, really pretty stitch pattern on that one, even if I say so myself. And I'm just trying to pick the one. Julia mentioned that she likes the sideways. Where is it? Now I won't be able to find it. Let me see if I can search for it. Oh, there it is. So there we go. This is the sideways jumper. So this is, do you know what? I think this was my very, very first pattern that I designed for my brand new blog. How long was that? That was back in 2020 when I started my blog in May 2020. And sideways, oh, hello, the alarm. Not that I'm asleep at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's just to remind me of something. Anyway, so that's the sideways jumper. So this is the one I was actually talking about. Good pick, Julia. This is work sideways. Okay, so you work the rows in this fashion. Okay, up and down, up and down, up and down. Okay, so that's the way this one is worked. So this one would be the row gauge would be quite important, okay, because that will affect the width of your cardigan. Okay, so yes, there we go. And my favorite is, well, not favorite, I don't have favorites, but this one, let me tell you a story about Adelaide. This is Adelaide lace sweater, okay, and as you can see, it's got this pineapple lace around the yoke, and this was one of those designs that when I made the original sample, so happy with it. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing, this looks stunning. But then I kind of hit a brick wall, because I was like, if I want to grade this, for bigger sizes or for smaller sizes, it's going to be an absolute nightmare. So I was going into writing this pattern with a real kind of block in my head that it's going to be difficult, okay, because of the pineapple lace, because of that yoke. And do you know what? It turned out to be one of the easiest patterns I have written. Isn't that funny? Sometimes you think it just looks difficult, it's not going to work, it's going to be a nightmare, it's going to be a mountain to kind of conquer. But honestly, it was one of the, not easy as in, oh, I just threw it together. It just all the challenges that I thought I was going to have to overcome, it never kind of came to it. It was so easy such an easy pattern to write and get through and stuff. And actually, all I'm going to say, this one goes up to 3XL, I believe. So this one, I have to say, this one is not, 3XL. There we go. So Adelaide only goes up to 3XL. I do apologize. That was my very early design that I only graded up to 3XL. But I might actually rework it and just carry on the pattern for larger sizes as well. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do that, can't we? So yeah, there we go. Etsy shop is on Black Friday sale, 25% off, all the patterns in there. It's gonna run until let me check the date. What is the date next? When's it? And until the end of 28th of November. So like a week. That's a week, isn't it? So yeah, that's my Black Friday Etsy shop sale. Go ahead, have a look at the patterns. Oh, cute, I have a grown-up boy. Oh gosh, don't even tell me grown-up boys. They grow so fast. I can't believe my older boy is going to be 9 soon. My younger boy's 4 already. So he's going to go to school next year. And it's just all happening too fast. And it's making me feel like I'm getting old. Yeah, Marcy needs cardigans. Go ahead, check out the Etsy shop sale. I popped the link in the comments as well. And yeah, we've got some votes for Sideways Jumper and for Adelaide. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the lovely comments. So thank you, guys. I can't believe I've been talking for 1 hour and 3 minutes almost. And let me check my coffee. Yeah, it's still hot, but drinkable hot. So thank you so much for joining me for today's live Q&A. I hope you are not too disappointed that Hannah wasn't here today. I hope that I provided the entertainment for Wednesday afternoon. But let's keep our fingers crossed. Let's send all the positive thoughts to Hannah from HanJan Crochet that we will be able to go live on Friday for another month, for our monthly Q&A chat to catch up with you guys. And hopefully at that point there'll be a few more people popping along with their Shipka cardigans, part 2 finished of the crochet along. So it was lovely chatting with you all. If there are any more questions, pop them in the comments right now, because I'm about to go on my way. Probably go. Oh no, we've got some time till school run. Oh, thank you. Enjoy every moment with your boys as they grow up so quickly. Thank you so much, giving me a bit more confidence to give a garment a go. Yes, Marcy. Yes. You made my day. I truly hope you will give a garment a go. It's amazing when you finish it, when you wear it, and when someone says, "Ooh, where'd you get this? That looks awesome," and you go, "I made it myself. You should try too." So yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Loved every second of it. Thank you, guys, and hopefully I will see you Friday with the lovely Hannah as well. And let's keep our fingers crossed, because you never know how the viruses and bugs are going to pan out. But let's keep positive that Friday we'll be able to see you with Hannah for the monthly live Q&A. Let's keep our fingers crossed. And thank you so much for joining me today. I loved every second of it. And hopefully see you on Friday. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining.